Hi there, here's Mark Arnaldo reporting from GenCon 2015. I'm sitting down with Craig Robertson from A1 Games, and he's going to tell us a little bit about an upcoming expansion for Tide of Iron. This expansion is a non-standalone expansion. It is called Stalingrad, so that kind of gives you a clue about the topic. And it is part of, well, the second life of Tide of Iron. Craig's company has been reprinting Tide of Iron products and improving, cleaning up, polishing things after Fantasy Flight came out with the design initially. This is, as far as I understand, the first original expansion published by A1 Games. So, Craig, could you tell us a little bit about what you see here and what is that Stalingrad adds to the universe of Tide of Iron?
Well, what we've done with Stalingrad is we've added the dense city fighting that began in Stalingrad and translated it to Tide of Iron. So none of the things that we've done here will affect the other titles in the series, but it's an additional level of detail for those city fights. For instance, some new pieces of terrain, collapsed buildings, large buildings that, as you might note, can be designated as multi-story buildings. So for the first time, you can go to the ground floor or go to the first and second stories of a building. And as we all know, counter density in a city fight can be a problem. So what we've done is we've added side displays where you can actually, if you have a crowded building, actually have your units over to the side so that you're not actually fighting everybody in a specific hex. So you don't have to cram 18 different squads into a single hex. So that's a little bit of convenience. The other thing that we've done is, because we were adding a lot of complicated rules, a major priority for us was advanced examples of play. So hopefully you can see that. These are the examples of play for destructible buildings and the line of sight rules. So we figured out that we want to display the difference between city line of sight, rural, and how they interact. So that was a high priority for us. And speaking of destructible buildings, we've come up with a lot more ways to blow stuff up. We've included rules for fire, how to spread fire through urban terrain. We've also added a card for the SIG-33B, which was an assault gun, which fired a massive round which could literally level a building. So instead of just shooting somebody or close assaulting, now you can drop an entire building on an enemy squad's head. The gameplay is the same as it's always been. We have not gone back and changed any of the rules for Tide of Iron, but we have added a few things. For instance, now we have Commissar Specializations. Basically what you do with Commissar is anytime that unit would rout, or a unit in the same hex would rout or retreat, you remove a figure and it cancels the retreat as the Commissar shoots someone for cowardice and bolsters everybody else's courage. We also have submachine gun specializations. They have a lot more firepower but shorter range. We've also added rules for snipers. So you'll see here a sniper counter. The Soviets can flip it and then choose a nearby unit and do an attack with that strength against the German squad. We've added brand new cards, operations and strategy cards, and we're also going to be featuring the brand new T-70 tank. The T-70 was a light tank produced from 42 to 43. and was produced in great numbers because the Soviets could produce it in automobile factories that couldn't do the T-34 or the KV-1. So it served an interim purpose, and another innovation that we've done with the minis is we actually have labeled each tank so that you don't have to be an expert at World War II.
Let me just put my hand behind, otherwise,
Right.
so we can show the details. There we go.
Absolutely.
As the camera gets confused between the background and the foreground, this way, yes, this way the camera can capture the detail of the T-70 written on the back, on the bottom, I should say.
Perfect. And then that's the level of detail we've achieved on the tank as well. So we're really excited about bringing new units and new pieces to Tide of Iron. We're really excited about what we've accomplished. It adds a lot to the game without actually going back and rewriting the game, and that's a commitment that we're making. We are not going to change the way that the original Tide of Iron or any of the previous expansions play. So these rules are what you're going to play if you're playing Stalingrad. Eventually we're going to do Berlin scenarios, Aachen, Caen. Anywhere you get into a big downtown industrial area city fight, this is where you want to start.
Well, definitely I can speak for myself and for other people that played the Tide of Iron before. I can tell you that I'm sure we're all happy that we can still use the old stuff. We don't have to throw it away, and it's not outdated, but of course it's nice to have more stuff. I mean, what I used to say is that more of the same is good when same is good, and having new ways, new scenarios to play Tide of Iron, that's definitely going to be a plus. Certainly for me and for other people that played Tide of Iron in the past. Well, thank you, Craig, for sitting down with us and showing us a little bit about Tide of Iron Stalingrad. When is this game coming out?
It is in production right now. You should see the Kickstarter within a few days. And we're hoping for delivery sometime around the beginning of October.
Right. Thank you very much, Craig.